Dr. Prakash, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Karthik. Very powerful presentation and great efforts. At the outset, I wish you a lot of good luck and positive energy and enthusiasm to take this concept forward. See, actually, the pandemic has accelerated not only our acumen, ability, our turnover, our expertise, it has also created a lot of potential for digital transformation. And I can see Dr. Karthik Prabhu, whom I know more as a doctor, as a technology person today. And when I discuss with him about this concept, I understand that this is a concept which is done with on a social entrepreneurship model. It is not just for a profit model. I can understand the passion and his love for smaller hospitals to survive, and for our colleagues, medics, paramedics, he said nurses, paramedics, every one of them can utilize this platform and get themselves engaged. So it is a very great service, and I wish Dr. Karthik transforms into a great social entrepreneur and continues to contribute the best for the welfare of our medical fraternity. And he was just telling that, Dr. Prakash always has a soft corner for small hospitals or big hospital. It is not like that. I have a soft corner for our medical profession because I entered medical college with a lot of hardship. I have graduated from government colleges in India, and I have done night duties in private nursing homes. I have put my hard-earned money and started small hospitals. I went abroad and came back and started a chain of OPD centers, consultation suites. I know the difficulty of learning, gaining knowledge, and investing, and waiting for returns on investment. So I've traveled my life through the hard way, and now whatever opportunity I have in this functional position, I only wish and pray that I should be of help to our medical fraternity, so that concepts like this, I thought it is my duty to spend time and promote these concepts, because it is not going to help not the utilization of the space, it is also going to incentivize doctors to invest on these spaces. It is not only going to help hospitals and medics, it is also going to be of use to the public, because end of the day, whatever the concept Karthik is trying to roll, it is going to moderate the healthcare economy. Before I end, I just want to recall one of my experiences. We had what turned my life into insurance is our exposure in mass insurance schemes in the state of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. As I joined insurance in 2007-8, we had an opportunity to cover 12 crore population, and 1,000 hospitals were participating. And to these 1,000 hospitals, when we had the opportunity to implement the scheme, and when I could talk to the policy makers, there were a lot of discussions. Why should government spend so much on the private hospitals? Why can't the government scheme be run only on government hospital? Is the bed available today? Now, during the pandemic, we have proved that the beds and infrastructure available, be it in government hospital or private hospital, it is a property of the government of India, because with this infrastructure and with this expertise, we are able to save millions and millions of people. When I implemented that scheme, which was mostly covering surgical procedures, I used to tell the hospitals that they should invest, because I told the policymakers, if the chief minister or the principal secretary discusses about the program and he says that I'm going to spend 1,000 crore on this project, what is the benefit? I said that there was a question asked to me, will people look at me as funding the private hospitals? I said it cannot be like that. You are not funding the private hospitals. If you make this a win-win-win strategy, and if hospitals come and participate in a mass insurance scheme, and if they have that win component, they are going to invest on their infrastructure. If the government is spending 1,000 crore and it reaches thousands of hospitals, it is not that they're going to take that money and run away. They are going to invest. They are going to build their ramp. They are going to get a lift. They're going to invest on their ICU. So I said, your healthcare services is going to grow. At the end of the day, healthcare services cannot be met only by the government because there is a demand supply mismatch. Whereas when people have to go to private hospitals, there is a prohibitive cost. So somewhere government has to pitch in and pay for the economically underprivileged. With that concept, when the scheme was floated, I just want to say one example. I used to address hundreds of hospital owners, be it in Andhra or in Tamil Nadu. And I used to say with very passion because after my MS from India, I had opportunity to do FRCS in Glasgow. I worked in Singapore for some time. I wanted the quality and systems. So I used to say that without CIAM, there should be no fracture managed. We can give approval for management of fracture only if you have CIAM. Your hospital should have a laminar airflow or a HEPA filter to do arthroplasties or high-end surgeries. Every rural area should have an ICU. You cannot convert your ward into an ICU by just keeping 4 beds and oxygen connections. It should be a real ICU in its sense. And small things like laparoscopy, there should be ETCO2. When I introduced those things, some of my friends, they used to question me. Prakash, you are talking so passionately. If I'm going to invest on ICU in my town or village, if I'm going to invest on all these high-end daters, if the scheme is not going to continue, what will I do with that infrastructure? This was a question asked to me. I kept point blank at that moment. I didn't have an answer. I said, you have to invest with the hope that you will continue to generate turnover and you can build up your practice and promote your brand image based on that investment. But today, Dr. Karthik has got a solution for a question where I didn't have an answer 10 years before. What if I'm going to invest in my infrastructure? That's why I said this is not only going to help hospitals utilize existing infrastructure. If I have a 50-bed hospital, if I'm doing reasonably well, and if I want to invest on a cath lab, or if I want to upgrade my theater, I'll be interested to do this. Because I know that partly I can fill with my patient and partly I can take the help of this system. So it's a very good initiative. And whatever hard work, knowledge, profit that we gain, it is our duty to give back to the society. And in this, I see that there is a lot of social cost also. So I am wholeheartedly happy to inaugurate this, and I'm very confident that it should help a lot of people. People who relocate and go to a new place, they need not establish their own clinic. They can rent, hire, and build their practices. And in that way, there will be a lot of incentives also for people. I know a lot of oncologists, endocrinologists who are transferred to a district hospital or a taluk hospital, hesitant to go there because they were worried about continuing their practice. But these type of initiatives will help people and specialists to reach areas where they are currently not available. So I can foresee a lot of benefits, and I wish that this project should be a big hit and it should help a lot of our people. And I thank Dr. Karthik for this opportunity to be to learn something about this. And in whatever way from my end, I'm willing to promote and facilitate this concept. I wish you all Godspeed. Good luck, Karthik. And thanks to all of you for your patient listening. Thank you.